You know, it's been said that the number one illness that almost all of us in the world suffer is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of just about everything. And, you know, where does this come from? Well, first of all, 95% of what we actually fear that we tell ourselves, it never happens, and it never happens like that. See, these are thoughts that come from the conscious and the subconscious, and they're usually either false expectations or sometimes they based on experiences, but there's no guarantee that they're going to happen again. So why do we think like that? You know, I think there was what was his name, Jerry Seinfeld, mentioned that when people attend funerals, it's kind of funny because when you're invited to get up and give the eulogy, at that moment, most people are saying to themselves, "Oh my God, to think I have to get up and give a eulogy, I'd rather be the one in the casket." I mean, it's crazy, I know, but it is one of the fears. But when you look at sales for a minute, especially anything to do with any kind of sales, here's one thing you want to know. Sales truly is a numbers game. And if you think of it this way, if I just make enough calls, more than anybody else, I'm going to get my share of yeses. And not only that, if you also think of it, I'm going to be practicing. And obviously, the more you practice something, the better you become. So if you just change your mindset as to how you're looking at it, it makes a big difference. You know, when I started, they told me, especially in the insurance industry, they said, "You're going to make 50 calls a day." I said, "You know what? I'll just make 100. I'll just keep calling." And I also made it kind of fun. Obviously, I had everyone's name. I knew who I was going to speak to, which was good. I didn't know them personally. And the minute they said no, I said, "Listen, I want to thank you. Thank you for saying no." They thought I was crazy. But the reason I did is I said, all no means is one day maybe you will buy something from me, because everyone is going to buy something from somebody at some time. So why not me? And I looked at it on that basis. And I did. I kept getting better and better. I was faster, I was quicker, I was sharper. And then, of course, I kept honing my skills. And as I gained more and more clientele, every time I got referred, it made my communications and my probability of rejection, it kept getting less and less. Until one point when I reached what I would think is the pinnacle, almost every time I got referred in, I ended up doing business with that customer. So just a simple little change of mindset. All you got to do is know I make as many calls as I need to. I get all that free practice in. I'm going to end up getting my share of yeses. And the more I make, the more yeses I'm going to get. And guess what? That is really going to be a super boost for my confidence. So give it a shot. Give it a try. I think it'll provide some real good success for you.